Okay guys, here we go with homework sheet 19, some hints. First of all, question 1. Now we're going to use bod mass, some people call it bid mass, okay, but the important thing is that we do the division before we do the subtraction. So the first thing we're going to do is the divide sum, get the answer for that, and then do the takeaway sum. Question 2, we have to evaluate this expression given the values for x and y. So the -1 is going to go in here, the +3 is going to go in here. So we're working out 20 take away 4 times -1 squared times 3. So just like the previous question, work out this bit first and then do a takeaway. Question 3, fractions. Well, let's make the bottom numbers the same. So there'll be 15s. You should be able to do it after that. Question 4, factorise this expression. Not much help I can give you here. Just basically do it. Question 5, a wee bit harder. Find the equation of the straight line shown here in terms of t and s. Now you know that every straight line has the form y equals mx plus c. However, in this case, we don't have y. In this case, we have t, and instead of x, we have s. So the first part of your answer is going to be t equals something s, and then your c at the end. So your something which goes in here before the s is the gradient. So we can get that from the diagram by looking at a little right angle triangle, working out how tall our triangle is, and working out how shallow our triangle is. That should be able to give us the gradient that goes in here. And then to find the c at the end, that's this point here where it crosses the axis. If you use the gradient and step backwards, that should tell you what that point there is. So get the gradient, step it backwards to find c. Question 6, solve the inequality. Not much we can do on the left hand side. Right hand side we can remove brackets. Now we're going to take the -2x over, and we're going to take the -4 over, and we're going to solve it to get x is less than something. Question 7 is very, very similar to question 2, to start with anyway. The first part, to work out f of 4, that just means put 4 into this formula. So 3 to the power 4, which you can work out. Part B is a lot harder. This time we've got the function which equals root 27. So we have to put the function equal to root 27. What is the function? The function's the little formula part, which is 3 to the power x. So we need to solve 3 to the power x equals root 27, which looks quite hard. However, if you do simplifying surds here, so root 27 becomes root 9 root 3, and you work all that out until you eventually end up on this side 3 to the power something, then that will mean that you can work out x, because x must be whatever that something is. So take your surd, simplify it, write it as 3 to the power, and that should tell you what the something is. Question 8 is the first in the calculator section. We're asked what was last year. We know what this year is. It was 12.5% more than last year. We know what this year's price is. So we've got to go backwards to last year. So it's a backwards percentage. Now if this year is 12.5% more, that means it's worth 100 plus 12.5% more than it was, which I'll do for you, is 112.5%. Now when you do a normal percentage you would times. This one, because we're going backwards, we're not timesing, we do the backwards, so the opposite of timesing, which is dividing. So you're going to take the figure for this year, 10,500, and you're going to divide that by the percentage figure, but you're going to turn that percentage into a decimal. And that's going to give you the answer. Question 9, sine rule, cosine rule question. Okay, now I've taken the diagram and I've redrawn it for you, and I've put the numbers in that the question says. Okay, the first line along here is 35 kilometres and the angle's 50. The second line is along here at 20 kilometres and the angle right round is 125. Now if I can just draw the triangle without all that messy stuff on it, this is 35, this is 20, this is the x that you're trying to find. Now looking at that, when you see a diagram that's got two sides, here and here, and you're trying to find the third one, that tells me it's a cosine rule question. So that tells me I'm going to use the a squared equals the b squared plus the c squared minus the 2bc cos a. And the important thing here is that we need cos a, we need the angle. So we need to know what this little angle here is. So if you look back at the diagram, we know the little bit at the start is 50. We know right round to that yellow line is 125. So you should be able to tell me what the angle inside the triangle is. Transfer that angle into here in the diagram. Transfer all the information then into the formula, and you should be able to tell me the distance between delta and gamma. Question 10. Well, we've done a few of these recently, so you know we need to get it down to sine x equals. Once we get it down to sine x equals, we're going to use our cast diagram and we're going to tick the boxes. It's going to be a negative, that's not too hard to work out. So the places where sine is negative, your answers are going to be here and here. So work out the acute angle in this box and then the corresponding angles that you need. And lastly, number 11, numbers gone daft, number 11. Find the end wall of the bungalow is in the shape of a triangle and a rectangle is shown. Calculate the length of the longest sloping side. The longest sloping side is going to be this side here. So let's call that x. Remember what we said in class, as soon as you get a diagram that's got two angles in it, always put the third one in. So 24 added to 42 is 66. And 66 away from 180 tells us that this angle here is 114. So that being 114, we know the 12.8 from the bottom can be transferred up here as 12.8. So the question, again, just like the previous one in number 9, let's take all the stuff away and write down what we need. 24, 42, 114, and x and 12.8. That to me looks like it's a sine rule question. A over sine A equals B over sine C B over sine B and C over sine C. Okay, and then you just work it through from there to find the size x. And that should be the homework, hopefully okay.